There is a pattern that almost every cat owner recognizes. The bedroom goes dark, the house goes quiet, and at some point during the night, a weight settles next to the pillow, or against the legs, or in the exact center of the bed where there is no room for it. The cat is there. Every night, same spot, same ritual, and most people have a simple explanation for it. She loves me, she wants to be close, and she chose me. In the last video, we took apart the popular signs of cat love and found that half of them were more complicated than the list suggested. Sleeping next to a person is one of those signs, and it might be the most misunderstood one of all. There are 3 layers to this behavior. Only the last one has anything to do with choice. Layer 1, thermoregulation. Cats run a baseline body temperature around 38.5 degrees Celsius, which is higher than a human's. Maintaining that temperature costs energy. A sleeping cat's metabolism drops, and so does her ability to generate heat. A warm body next to her is not sentimental. It is efficient. This is why cats also sleep on laptops, on radiators, in patches of sunlight that move across the floor. The human is one of several heat sources. For some cats, particularly in cooler climates or drafty apartments, the human might be the best one, not the only one, not the chosen one, the warmest one. There is a detail here that most people miss. Where on the bed the cat sleeps often tracks the warmest zone, not the most emotionally significant person. Feet radiate less heat than a torso. A cat that moves from the ankles to the chest over the course of a night is not getting more affectionate. She is following the thermal gradient. In winter, cats press closer. In summer, they sleep 2 feet away on the same bed or abandon it entirely for the bathroom tiles. This does not sound romantic, but it is the foundation. If the room were always 30 degrees, some percentage of cats who currently sleep next to their owners would stop. Not all, but some. Layer 2, vulnerability. Sleep is the most dangerous state for any animal. Reflexes slow, awareness drops. A sleeping cat in the wild is a dead cat if she picks the wrong spot. Domestic cats are not in the wild. But the nervous system does not know that. The instinct that says sleep somewhere safe is millions of years old, and central heating does not overwrite it. When a cat sleeps next to a person, part of what is happening is a risk calculation. This person is large, warm, and predictable. This person does not attack during the night. This person's breathing is a steady signal that the environment is stable. That last part, breathing, is worth pausing on. Cats monitor breathing patterns. In multi-cat households, a cat will often choose to sleep near the person whose breathing is most regular, not the person who feeds them. I have noticed this with my own 5. The heaviest sleeper in the house gets the most cats, not the most generous one, the most predictable one. The cat is not thinking any of this consciously, but the autonomic nervous system is running the math. And the result is, this spot next to this body is acceptable. That is not nothing. An animal choosing to be unconscious near another animal is a significant behavioral signal. But calling it love skips over what it actually is, a nervous system that has categorized this specific human as safe enough to lose consciousness near. That distinction matters. Layer 3. Attachment. This is the one people want to hear about, and it is real. But it does not work the way most expect. In 2019, the Oregon State study on feline attachment found that about 65% of cats form what researchers call a secure attachment to their primary caregiver. A securely attached cat uses the person as a secure base. When the person is present, the cat is calmer, explores more, recovers from stress faster. When the person leaves, the cat shows mild distress. When the person returns, the cat settles quickly. That pattern, calm in presence, distress in absence, quick recovery on return, is attachment. Not love in the way a person might define it, but a measurable bond that affects the cat's nervous system. A securely attached cat does not just sleep next to the person for warmth or safety. She sleeps there because the person's presence actively lowers her stress hormones. The proximity itself is regulatory. One of my cats, a grey tabby named Soot, who came from a hoarding situation, slept under the bed for her first 4 months, not next to anyone, under furniture, alone in the darkest corner she could find. When she finally moved to the foot of the bed, it was 4 months after arriving. That was not thermoregulation. The apartment was warm enough. It was not a generic safety calculation. The bedroom had been safe since day one. Something changed in her nervous system's assessment of the specific person sleeping 3 feet away. That shift is attachment. and it cannot be rushed. Here is where it gets complicated. Not all cats who sleep next to their owners are securely attached. The Oregon State study also found that about 35% of cats show insecure attachment, either anxious or avoidant. An anxiously attached cat may sleep on the owner's chest, follow them room to room, and show visible distress when left alone. That looks like deep love. It might actually be dysregulated attachment. The cat cannot self-soothe without the person present. One of my cats went through a phase like this after a surgery. She would not sleep unless she was physically touching skin, not fur on blanket, skin on skin, a paw on my wrist. It lasted 3 weeks. When she healed, the behaviour stopped. That was not love growing and then fading. That was a nervous system in crisis, using proximity as medication. An avoidant cat presents differently. She may sleep in the same room but never on the bed. She is in proximity but maintains distance. Same room, different signal. The point is that where a cat sleeps and how contains real information, but reading it correctly requires watching the full pattern. Not just the headline. One more thing, purring during sleep. In the last video we established that purring is a self-soothing mechanism, not an expression of happiness. During sleep, the same principle applies. A cat that purrs while sleeping is not dreaming of her favourite person. She is running a low-level regulatory process. The vibration at around 25 Hz promotes tissue repair and calms the nervous system. Some cats purr more during sleep than while awake. That does not mean they're happier asleep. It means their system needs more regulation when conscious awareness drops. Healthy cats purr in sleep. Sick cats purr in sleep more. Old cats purr in sleep almost constantly. There is one pattern worth watching. If a cat who never purred in sleep suddenly starts, or if a regular sleep purrer suddenly stops, that shift itself is data. The first might signal pain the cat has not shown while awake. The second might signal a nervous system too exhausted to run the mechanism. Neither one means what most people assume. The sound means the mechanism is active. It does not tell you the reason. So what does it mean when a cat sleeps next to a person every night? It means the person is warm. It means the person is safe. And in many cases, not all, but many, it means the person's presence has a measurable effect on the cat's nervous system. 3 layers, each one real, each one interesting on its own terms. The bottom layer is physics, the middle layer is evolution, the top layer is something that emerged between 2 specific beings over months or years of shared nights. And that top layer, the one that cannot be manufactured, cannot be accelerated, cannot be faked, is the one worth paying attention to. Not because it means the cat loves you, because it means her nervous system learned it slowly that unconsciousness next to you is not a risk. For an animal built to survive, that is as close to trust as biology gets. What does the cat do during those hours while the owner is asleep? Patrol, check, listen. There is a whole nocturnal world that happens between midnight and 5 in the morning, and almost none of it matches what the internet says. That is the next video. And it starts with one specific behaviour that most people think is sweet and is actually something else entirely.